Hi everybody, welcome to Demo, the show where companies come in and they show us their latest products and platforms. Today I'm joined by Jim Spare. He is the Senior Vice President and General Manager at IDC. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Yeah, thank you very much, Keith.
IDC, we used to be connected to you guys as well, and IDC is known as an analyst firm, and you know they're not really known as the product spaces, so why are you here on Demo? What are you here to show us today?
That's right. Well, as a global market research firm, we have worldwide coverage of technology markets and products and vendors. And as a market intelligence company, we are constantly looking at new and better ways to serve our customers. And so one of those ways is to serve them in a more interactive and digital format. And so we're building digital platforms that take advantage of artificial intelligence that enable us to harness all of our knowledge and deliver it to customers in a customized digital format.
And the name of this is?
IDC TechMatch.
There we go. All right. And so who is IDC TechMatch designed for? Is it everyone within the enterprise, every client, or is there a specific role within a company that's really going to benefit from this?
Yeah, we focus IDC TechMatch, which is a platform that enables IT leaders to make decisions quickly and confidently in picking the right software for their business purpose.
Yeah.
And typically that's the CIO or head of enterprise applications or head of procurement or even the CFO's office are typically people that get involved in software sourcing and selection decisions.
Yeah.
And so that's who the platform is targeted towards.
And so what's the main problem that you're solving for these groups of people?
Well, today, the way most organizations source and select software is long and complex and frustrating for everyone involved. And these processes can take up to 6 months in order to make a decision on finding the right software for your business need.
Yeah.
And so we're entering these organizations with an opportunity to really accelerate that software sourcing process, yet also access world-class market intelligence so that IT executives can make confident decisions as well.
Right, and so what would companies be doing? And I think you already mentioned this, what would they be doing without it? I always think of that infomercial where you're looking at the black and white image of someone failing miserably, and then the world of color opens up, and then all of a sudden it's great. So what would these companies be doing in the old world? It sounds like they'd be doing a lot of searching. They'd be doing a lot of tabs and spreadsheets and all this other kind of stuff, right?
Spreadsheets and endless lists of requirements and some web research, and of course now LLMs can help, but where did they collect the data from? So many times there's a lot of internal work and unscientific sort of hamster wheel efforts to go and figure out what software is right for a business purpose.
Right, and what I like about this is that you're collecting all this information from your research and analysts, and so you know that information is probably more trusted than you would get from maybe a Google search or, because sometimes people play with the results, they pay some money, et cetera, et cetera. Can you guarantee that this is trusted information, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The information that exists within the IDC TechMatch platform has been collected through a vetted objective research methodology that's driven by over 1,000 global analysts that have decades of experience in markets and vendors and products. And so the information that TechMatch provides is based on an unbiased source and corpus of information and experience.
All right, very cool. Let's see the demo.
Yeah, all right. So this is the opening screen for IDC TechMatch, and let's say we are a CIO or head of enterprise apps that's looking for new financial applications. And let's say we're a retailer of widgets, let's say it. And so I just start here, enter my project name, my project description. I can search through dozens of different markets of different types of software. I'm going to look for financial apps. So I just start typing and I see financial applications are there, and I immediately can, boom, start a new project.
Okay.
Now, this is the opening dashboard, and you see a little bit of information about this sourcing project, and we'll go into greater detail in a few minutes. So first you see the IDC MarketScape, and the IDC MarketScape is a research document that gives us detailed understanding of the different players in a market segment. And so here, and all of the information in TechMatch is based on the information that IDC collects as part of its MarketScape process, in which it's talking to both vendors and vetting that information, as well as talking to customers of those vendors so that we really understand how the market is perceiving those product offerings.
Yep.
And so you've got a quick view of the players in a certain market, and you see a short list that is started to be populated, which is all of the vendors that are in the MarketScape to start with. Now, as you're going through a software sourcing and selection process, of course, the first question is, well, what are your requirements as an organization?
Yep.
Now, many categories of software involve hundreds and hundreds of requirements, and so the first way we can add value is we can auto-populate or auto-generate requirements. And I click the auto-generate button. We are using our knowledge of what are common requirements for a company that is seeking this type of software to get you started.
Okay.
And so we're now automatically started with a selection of requirements across functional, technical, and company criteria that enable us to go in and start to decide, okay, which of these criteria are important to my organization.
Okay.
And so here I'll say, okay, let's say AP, document management, approval, workflows. All of these requirements are critical requirements, meaning they're must-have requirements. And I see immediately of those 16 vendors on my short list, 13 of those vendors match those requirements, and unfortunately, 3 vendors don't.
Okay.
But now I'm immediately starting to see, as I work through my sets of requirements, exactly how my requirements match to the functionality that's available in the marketplace. Now, as I populate these sets of requirements, I can go to my shortlist, and I see here that the available vendors are starting to appear on the shortlist.
Okay.
As I click into into an individual vendor, I can get a lot more information about the vendor. And so here it tells me a little bit more about Oracle, some strengths and challenges, when to consider Oracle, and so forth. I can also see on the short list who's missing. So here I see, Certinia and FreshBooks are missing from our short list. And if I click into them, I can see, exactly which are those unmet requirements that kick them out of the short list.
So you're not necessarily deleting them, but you're giving them a chance to, and then you're explaining why they were not picked.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now,
not picked, but off the list. Yeah.
That's right. Well, why they didn't make the short list.
Right.
Right. And so, speaking of pick, that's a great segue into the AI that's built into the platform.
That's a requirement for being on this show, is to have an AI app.
It's a requirement for living these days, right?
Yeah.
And so this AI is special in that it is pointed to all of IDC's proprietary information about markets and vendors and products. And so I can ask questions such as, let's say, which vendors have a connector to ERP, for example. And now we are searching our information that has been vetted by the vendors to then provide an intelligent response specific to that question.
Okay.
Similarly, I can ask specific questions about my sourcing project. So for instance, why isn't FreshBooks on my short list?
Okay.
And it comes up and gives me information that's relevant to my sourcing project. So this is like a great example of kind of a contemporary solution that has both a traditional workflow component to it, but a very, very powerful AI-based interface that enables us to really ask natural language questions that inform the results.
Okay.
Now, I can go in here and choose to compare vendors here and get a very detailed comparison of everyone that's on my list, and I can start to see how the different vendors compare. And then once I'm ready, I can go to the executive summary and say, okay, I'd like to create an executive summary to report to my leadership or to report to the sourcing team, and I put the folks on the short list that I want to pick, and then I just hit download, and it will create an editable PowerPoint document for me that I can then take and build into my executive or management presentation.
Right.
And then lastly, we don't need our short list.
Okay.
We can create an RFP that is custom both to the specific category of software that we're investigating, as well as the specific requirements that I have entered that are specific to my needs in my business.
Okay.
And so these requirements are shown here. We just went into this project quickly, but if I download the RFP, this now gives me a Word document, and we can even take a look at it real quick. That is a document that leverages, once again, all of IDC's knowledge in doing software sourcing and selection, that then gives us a very extensive and, again, editable document using IDC best practices on how to go and source and select this software.
Right. That's really cool. And we had Marcy Maddox on the show, on a different show on Today in Tech, where she was talking about a lot of the problems that IT sourcing and procurement has. And I think the main takeaway that I got from that was that it's a really long process for getting this. Like, so it feels like that the goal is to shrink the amount of time an enterprise would need to get that deployment kind of ready, and before you even bought the project. It feels like this can take months, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
What we constantly hear from CIOs is that software sourcing and selection is one of their top 3 pain points.
Right.
And
because even with that list, you had 16. You had 16. Like, there's no way I'd want to go through 16 of those.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in today's environment where decision making is really democratized throughout the organization, there are dozens of people involved in typical software sourcing and selection decisions in a process that can take 6 months.
Yeah.
And so we see with TechMatch, we can take that 6-month process and reduce it to 6 weeks, and maybe eventually 6 days.
Wow.
And we can create this very frustrating, sometimes political and biased selection process that operates within companies, and really drive everybody onto a common platform that enables them all to collaborate within a digital tool to be able to drive alignment internally and visibility to what's going on in the software sourcing process.
And I know that you've got a lot of other cool features here, so we don't have a lot of time on the show, but where can people go to learn more about it and maybe try it out for themselves?
Check it out on idc.com/techmatch.
All right.
That's where you can find it if you want to accelerate your software sourcing decision-making process and do so with greater confidence.
All right, Jim Spare from IDC. Again, thanks for joining us on the show. Thanks for showing us TechMatch.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this week's show. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, add any thoughts you have below. Join us every week for new episodes of Demo. I'm Keith Shaw. Thanks for watching.